Hey guys, welcome back to the Curly Reader. My name's Amanda, and today I want to share with you some books that I've been reading recently. Okay, so I'm just gonna dive into this. I have a stack of one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 books here that I've read recently that I've kind of gotten a little behind on sharing, and so I thought I would share these ones with you today. And so yeah, let's start with middle grade because I actually have 3 middle grade on this stack to share with you. The first of which is Long Lost. This is by Jacqueline West, which I just found out that Jacqueline West is local to me. And so one of my friends actually lent me this book because Jacqueline West is her neighbor. And I love this cover, first of all. This cover is so good. Like, so good. And this book was also so good. It is a spooky middle grade, which I don't read a ton of. And I didn't really know what I was getting myself into when I started this one, but this is definitely like a ghosty, spooky middle grade that was so good. It follows, what's the main character's name? Fiona, who has just had to move from one part of Massachusetts to another and is just feeling left out. Her sister is a competition figure skater, and so she's always at practice, and her family, like her parents, are very centered around her sister, and so she feels very left out and is just trying to find her place. And so she goes to the library at this new town that she's living in, and she finds this old book and starts reading it and realizes that some of the things in the book are very similar to the town that she's currently living in, and she starts kind of making links between it, and some spooky things start happening, and it was very good. The writing was really well done. It was a solid 4 stars for me, so yeah, definitely really enjoyed that one. Middle grade in verse that I read is Garvey in the Dark. This is by Nikki Grimes. This is, I think, the second book in this Garvey. There's another Garvey book that she has read or written. This one has to do with COVID, and it's basically about this young boy's time during COVID in California and how he dealt with it, but it's all in verse. And so it was a very quick read. It was fine. It wasn't like standout stellar, but it was fine. I gave it like 2.5 stars. So yeah. And then the last middle grade book on this stack is Big Rig by Louise Hawkes. Actually, both of these two were NetGalley books for me that I was trying to finish up before the end of the year. And so I was able to finish these two. But this is a middle grade book that follows Hazel, who goes around the country with her dad in a truck. Her dad's a trucker, and so she's homeschooled and she rides around, the country with her dad in a truck, and he is starting to talk about like settling down and buying a house, and she does not want to do that. She doesn't want to grow up. She wants to live the trucker life. And so she's basically trying to convince her dad that like to not give up the truck. It's very reminiscent of Coyote Sunrise, the remarkable journey of Coyote Sunrise, except like swapped. Like in Coyote Sunrise, she wants to go home, and in this one, she like does not. They run across, people along the way. I will say there is some language in this, so definitely be aware of that. If you have kids that are interested in this book, there's some language that was kind of like off-putting a little bit. But other than that, it was a really cute book. I enjoyed it. It was a fun, quick read. And so this one I ended up giving 3 stars to as well. All right, let's move on to a couple of books that I read as part of the reading 5-star predictions from my friends project. I read 2 books out of that stack so far. I'm still planning on reading the rest of them, but I've read 2 so far. The first of which is The Secret Life of Cece Wilkes by Diane Chamberlain. This one was so interesting. The premise of it is that there is this unsolved murder that happened, and somebody is being arrested for it, and this woman basically steps up and says, no, this person is not guilty, and I know that because I was there. And you kind of then get the whole backstory of what happened, and it is so clever and so unique, and I really enjoyed every second of I listened to this on audiobook, and it was so captivating the whole time. I gave this one 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. And so, yeah, this was recommended to me by Lindsay from Lindsay's Little Library. And I would highly, highly recommend this book if you have not read it before. All right. And then the other one that I read as part of that was recommended by Amber from Books and Beaches, and that is 19 Minutes by Jodi Picoult. I listened to this one as well. This one has to do with a school shooting, and I wasn't expecting the shooting to take place like in the first chapter, but it does. And then you get like the process of the trial and what's going on with the parents and all of that. And so it was really interesting. I didn't love this one as much as some of Jodi's other books, but I did really enjoy it. I gave it 4 stars. And so yeah, it was a good recommendation from Amber. All right. One that I started during Historathon in November and then didn't finish until December is 11/22/63 by Stephen King. This is like a huge book. And this became quite the slog for me to get through, to be completely honest. I did not love my time with this book. I ended up giving it 2.5 stars generously. I felt like the end was good. Like this much of the end was good, and the rest of it was like, I don't even know why it's there. It was so much just filler nonsense that I didn't get why it had to be so long, that it put me in a reading slump in November, and it took me forever to break out of that slump. And so this one was not a winner for me, unfortunately, which was a massive bummer because I was really looking forward to that book. And then the last book is a pretty hyped book in like the Bookstagram world, and that is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. This is the second time that this has been published. It was self-published first, and then it got picked up and was published by Tor, I believe. And so this is actually the UK cover, which I love. I really enjoyed this book, but it wasn't like amazing like I was hoping it was going to be because of all the hype surrounding it, but it was fine. It is marketed as a cozy fantasy, so like a cozy mystery, but not mystery. It's like a cozy fantasy, and it has to do with this orc Viv who is opening a coffee shop, and nobody's heard of coffee. And it goes, the fun like thing I thought that they did well, that Travis did well in this book, is explaining how all the different aspects of the coffee shop kind of came to be in a medieval-ish like fantasy world. So how they did the ice and the iced beverages and the cat in the coffee shop, and the music, the musician and the guitar and the amplifier, and like all these different things, that cinnamon rolls, and you know, like how all of these things kind of came to be in a world where they don't exist. I thought it was fun and unique, and so that I appreciated. I gave this one 3.5 stars. I did enjoy it, but it was, like I said, not like blow my socks off like I was hoping it was going to be. So anyway, those are 7 of the books that I have read recently. If you have read any of these, if you have comments about any of these, I would love to hear your comments about them down below in the comment section. And yeah, let me know what you've been reading recently, and that's going to do it for today. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you stick around and subscribe, and until next time, see ya!